Okay guys, I'm back, and for this you want to kind of draw the beginning of his leg like that, and this one it'd be better to erase this line. After you draw that line, erase this, and about right here you want to start his other leg. Okay, so right now, this leg is going to be his left leg, going with perspective which way he's facing, and we're facing towards the computer. So this is going to be his left leg, and this is going to be his right leg. And you want to kind of connect connect this line. Erase it a little more. Connect this line with it's really hard to draw in a straight line. I can't remember how to do straight lines. Oh, hold shift and click where you want it. Alright, taking that into consideration on adjusting the lines and everything, this line is going to have to be moved back to about right here, I would suppose. So, oh, whoops. Alright, and then this will come down to be his other leg. I think that should be right. Alright, no. Keep, since this is his right leg, you're going to keep that other line that I had drawn earlier hidden, and this leg will be blocking that line, so you won't have to worry about it. Alright, and you want to keep his back just going along with his legs, so I would put that about right there, and about, try to get it even with that, and you want this handle to be drug out a little lengthy, and then this handle you want to go straight up with it. About right there. And stroke that, and now just go ahead and erase this line. That's about right. Alrighty, yeah, it should be enough room to make his boots and everything. And you can go ahead and draw his tail. Now, having it having it without this line is optional, but I usually keep the line since it's in the middle of his body. To give the right perspective, as if you were looking at him in a 3D model, you would be able to outline the right parts. And we're just going to, we are going to finish with his legs here. Don't know how exactly far we'll go down, we'll just see how far we need to go. And these don't have to be perfectly straight. That if they were perfectly straight anyway, it would give the impression that he kind of had like locked his joints or something. So if it's not perfectly straight, don't worry about it. We'll go out a bit here. Oh. Okay. I think that should be about long enough for his legs. We might go a little more. You don't want to go too long, which then you can always adjust it, but to save time, you just want to be careful. And you want to make sure that his right leg is, it doesn't come down as far as this middle line here, because it would mess up the perspective of how you were looking at him. Okay, that should be long enough. They might be a little bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and draw his socks a little high instead of right here. And it's really easy to make a perfect like curve with these. So this is what you want to use to make their socks. That should be about right. And you want to do this one. You want to put it on both sides here. I think this is, no. You want to put it a little bit. Oh wait, yeah, that is right. Never mind. You want to drag these handles out like this. And that should be about right. You want to try to make it almost symmetrical but not right, because I mean, you know, socks aren't like going to be perfectly symmetrical. Now this part I usually just do the same thing. I just go lower, right below from here, and we will, and you'll see what I'm doing. Let's see, that should be about right. Matter of fact, I don't think I'll put socks on him. I'll just put his boots on, and then just connect that. If they are wearing socks, you're going to kind of bulge this out like that and bring it in, and then you're going to do another bulge like that, and that will give the appearance that their socks are kind of wrinkly. But I'm not going to do socks. I'm just going to go ahead and make his boots. And you want to erase the inside lines. And do this one. Just go ahead and hand draw that one. That's not right. Alright. And that's the top part of his boots now. Yep. Okay. Now, depending on your preference, you can either do the arms first, or, you know, just keep moving down his body and do his legs and then his feet first, and that's what I usually do. I'll save the arms and hands for last. Mostly hands for last because I have a lot of trouble drawing hands, and it kind of takes a while. But nevertheless, I can still draw them. I just have to really take my time on it. And you want to kind of shape this up to where it comes to a point. And now for his boots. You want to start about right here and kind of bring this down in a slant. That might be a little too low. You want to bring it down to the slant, like diagonally like this, because you're going to make it curve right here. So it will be going along the top of his foot. You want to make sure that this is straight. So I'm going to stroke that. And move out so we can see how we want shoes. That might be a little long. I'm thinking about it, so that's alright though. We can go up here and I think this should be enough. Whoops. Just the handles. Stroke, and we'll go ahead and erase this line so it doesn't mess us up. And it's a little big. Just keep adjusting your lines and everything will be alright. Okay, now we're going to do the back. It should come down to about right here, and you want to have it slanted just a little. Don't curve it too much, but curve it just enough. Okay, now here, so it will kind of seem like his feet are spread apart a little bit instead of sticking, straight together forward. You might want to hand draw this part. That's what I usually do, and you want to start with a basic boot like that, except you're just going to kind of come over here to the end of this line and just kind of swerve it around like that, and then to add detail where it will look like his feet are spread apart, I'm just going to go ahead and add the detail. His foot's a little big. Fix his foot. Okay, that should be good. Erase this line. That should be good enough for now. I'll see what I did wrong with that detail on his shoe. You want to, if they have like a front part of their shoe that kind of goes like this, you want to do that. It kind of gives the illusion that his feet are spread apart instead of facing straight forward. And then with your other shoe, just want to come up like this. That might be... Alright. And now you want to draw, you know, the right lines for that. Yeah, now that gives the appearance that his feet aren't like just facing straight, you know, forward put together. Now we're going to save really quick, and we're going to start on his arms. Now, this really depends on how you want his pose for his arms and hands to be. Now, they could be any certain way we want them, of course, but depending on how you want them to be posing and how you want the person who is looking at your drawing to like see what mood they're in, or you know, something like that, really depends on how you're going to put their arms, kind of like body language and stuff. So I guess it's really what you want. Like if you want their arms crossed or something, or if you want them pointing, or... But I think since this is just a tutorial, I will kind of keep it a little basic. It takes a lot of practice with how you want their arms and stuff, because most of the time that's really where you're going to see a lot of conflicts, especially if you're drawing like two Sonic characters and they're like, I don't know, messing with something, or because like their left arm or their right arm will be obstructing one of the other, and you will have to figure out how to manage with all the lines conflicting with each other. Which on this part, it's really good to use different colored guidelines so you can keep yourself from getting confused with which line is which. So first off, for the beginning of his arm, since it's kind of curved, you want to start it just like that, like a semicircle. And now you want to come down about right here, the way I'm going to draw his arms. I'm going to do it jointed, that way you can see like how you want to joint the elbow. I think that should be good. And depending on like if he's holding his arm out, this curve right here will have to be rotated. So I think that's what I'll do right now. I'll go ahead and fix that line to where it's like this. Alright. And now you want to go to those ends, and you want to go to about the tip of his nose. You want to just stroke basic straight lines. Now this part is where you want to stop just short of the end of this line, and I will show you why. Okay, now when you go to connect the joints right here, you want to start before this line and kind of have it held out, because it will give the illusion, you know, that is a joint. I know it looks really basic right now, but it'll all work out. And you want to try to not have his elbow really pointed. So if you use this excuse me, if you use the paths tool, it will stroke it just right, and depending on the shape of your brush, it will either make it look a little curved and pointed, or if it's straight up pointed, you'll just have to adjust it. We're just gonna make this look a little better. About like that. Yeah, that's should be okay. Alright. Now you want to go ahead and erase this line so it doesn't get you messed up. Now we're going to draw his hands. Now I'm not the best at drawing hands, so this may be the longest part of the tutorial. I'm going to start off by drawing his braces though on his wrists. And I usually use the paths tool for that. So you want to make it look like it's a circle going around his wrists. And this is the basic line you want to do with gloves as well. And now see, if I was drawing gloves, I would just start, instead of drawing a straight line, I would go like this. And then you want to do that again. Let's see. Yeah, that should be thick enough. And you want to start in the same points, midpoints of that oval. Just go ahead and round this off. Adjust it how you want it. Stroke. Alright. Now, eyes itching. You want to darken in these white spots, because, well, I mean, it's his hand going into it since he's wearing a glove. I'm not going to add the spikes or any details yet. First, I'm going to add the next hand after I show you how I usually start off with my hands. Now, if I'm drawing it where he's clenching his fists, I usually hand draw something like that for just a basic representation. And you'll have to probably stare at your hand a lot and be sure to stare at the correct hand to really see how you are going to want his hand to look. So as of right now, that's alright, but up here in the knuckles, you want to make sure that they're all proportional, because if they look unproportional, you'll be able to tell it. And his thumb, you will have to do a lot of adjusting on that, because that can sometimes get in the way. Kind of like that, but we're not doing his hand like that, I don't think, as of yet right now. We'll do it a different way. I think we'll do a shot of him giving thumbs up with this hand, and with the other hand we'll just keep it down. But you will have to draw. You won't have to draw his other arm if you're keeping it down, but you will have to draw his hand, because you will be able to see it depending on, let's see, how long is that? So it'll probably come down to about right here. So you want to kind of just hold your, since we're facing him from the left side view, you want to just hold your right hand in front of you and just let it kind of just relax, and you will see how you need to draw his hand. And you want to start out with the basic shape of your palm. Just imagine it. and then kind of draw it like that. Hold on. Yeah, that'll be the basic shape, and the fingers will come out here. Now, you probably have to use different colors for this, so I'm going to go ahead and select a light gray. Now for his thumb, you want it to kind of come from the palm. Oh, whoops. And depending on how it's relaxed when you look at it, it's not right. I think that's a little big. So I'm not really dirty minded, but I can already see the comments from this, just because of the certain location this hand has wound itself up in. Okay, and you want to erase any exposing lines right here because the thumb is in front of all of these black lines except for his body, of course. Alright. That should be about right. I think his thumb's bulging out just a little bit too much. That's okay, just keep adjusting. And now for his fingers, you want to draw his index finger. Matter of fact, I think I might have to make these lines a little bit thinner for this part. So that's what we'll do. Okay, and you want to start about right here on his thumb for his index finger, or for the index finger, I should say. That should be all you about have to draw. You just need to connect that right there. For his middle finger to be hanging down. Go ahead and switch back to black and fix his body. Cover up the gray. And now with this, you want to blacken in the hands and everything. So just hit fill bucket. And you'll have to adjust his hands a lot. This is what I mean. I'm not the best at drawing hands, so it takes a lot of adjusting. So you want to kind of have his thumb overlapping his index finger, about like that, and I'll go ahead and erase that, whiten that in. We'll see if that looks correct. Almost. Okay. You also want to make sure that this is kind of slanted down a little bit like that if you have a hitchhiker's thumb. Really depends on if you want them to have a hitchhiker's thumb or not. We'll also show how the thumb looks. It's still a little big. Just keep adjusting. And that should be okay, but now we are going to have to adjust his index finger. So it's going, erase this line, get it out of my way. So his index finger is now going to come over a bit more. And now for his middle finger, just do that. It's still not looking quite right with his thumb there. I think it needs to come over. And we'll fix that. Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong here. Since he has a hitchhiker's thumb, this line is going to come down like that, and his thumb is going to be like that. So it's going to be kind of pointed outward. It's still not looking right. I'm going to finish adjusting this and I will be back.